Good evening, masters.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So can we start today's
Yes,
session?
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So I welcome masters for, we are going to continue with the Ascension Handbook by Tony Stubbs, which is a channeled material from Serapis. Are the slides visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Very much, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So yesterday, day 3, we saw a technique called unplugging from the consensus. So consensus is agreement with a group of people, means we resonate with the negative emotions of other people. So we have to unplug from the negative emotions from the people around us, and then we have to plug into the spirit. So for that, we saw many techniques yesterday, something like declaration for clearing negative emotion, and then we had blame clearing declaration for others and for yourself. And we also went through forgiveness routine, and we had declaration for releasing blocks and woes. So today, day 4, we are going to see the next technique. It's called resonance 2, and it is specifically called aligning with the spirit. Spirit here is the divine, the God. So the first question that comes to our mind is, if my true nature is spirit, why am I not fully in contact with the spirit already? So this is the basic question that we always have. So for in order to understand this, we should remember that we have taken this amnesia during birth, or you also call it as veils to forget. So what happened is, at the moment we were born, we as spirit did one of the most difficult and painful things in the universe. We incarnated on planet Earth. So Serapis says that of all the activities that is happening in the universe, the most difficult and painful thing is incarnating on planet Earth. So we should be proud of ourselves, masters, that we have taken a brave step of incarnating on planet Earth. So when we were born, what we did is we drew the veils to forget that we were spirit. So we got into amnesia so that the karma game can be on. So you may have thought, no problem, I will soon remember, and it's only for few decades anyway. And you have been trying to remember who you are ever since. We have not achieved it now, masters, even though we are like 40 years, 50 years, 60 years old. We still have not remember, not able to practically, although we know that we are spirit, practically, we haven't had that experience. So, nowhere on any other planet are the veils between the physical plane and the higher planes are so dense. So, Serapis also gives us one more hint that only on Earth, planet Earth, it is very dense. The veil is so dense that it is very difficult to remember or understand that we are spirit. So, that is how it is designed, so that the spirit can understand about itself more through various projections like us. So what we have to do is, first we have to accept the responsibility for forgetting. So in order to accept the responsibility for forgetting, we can say the following affirmation. So I'm just going to read it now. I am spirit. When I incarnated in this body, I voluntarily and purposefully forgot this in order to give myself this opportunity to rediscover it. I am spirit playing hide and seek with myself. My agreement was that once I knew this, the game would be over. I now know it and declare the game finished. I incarnated under these rules so that I could enjoy discovering my true nature. I am spirit. So the uh, this is by telling this you accept, you take the responsibility for forgetting. So this will be the first step to for ascension masters. So you can repeat this many times, and you can align all your field to this truth, and your perception will start changing. So once you take the responsibility, what happens is you will see the situation in a different angle, in a different way. Your perception changes. How do you do that? So you will say, I did this to learn more about being a limited human. So previously, how we will say she did this, he did this, they hurt me, like that we put the blame on others. But now we have taken the responsibility. So you will now say your perception is changing, and you say, I did this to learn more about being a limited human. You say, I invited this person into my life to share an experience. Or you say, how does this insight serve me on my path of life? So, like that, if your perception keeps changing, then you claim your mastery of aligning with the spirit. So, you are no more in your ego self, you are slowly moving towards the spirit self. Okay. So, approach for embodying spirit. So, what is embodying spirit, masters? Embodying spirit means you become spirit itself. So, we are grateful to Merlin for the following approach to embodying spirit. So, Merlin is a deity. She has given this technique to embody spirit. So, the procedure goes like this: unify your chakras. We know how to unify our chakras. We have done this protocol day before yesterday. So first you have to unify your chakras and ask appropriate level of spirit to blend with your unified field through the heart chakra. So the very purpose of unifying chakras is to for the influx of the spirit energy. So and then you
Ma'am,
ask, sir, yes, sir. Hello, hello, sir. Can I continue? Hello, hello.
yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. So, embodying spirit is the technique, and we are thanking deity Merlin for this technique. So, we have to unify the chakra, and you can ask appropriate level of the spirit to blend with the unified field to the heart chakra. So, you also visualize a pink crystal or a red crystal in the heart chakra, and you visualize it glowing very brightly. So see it grow to just taller than you are. So if more the light should be taller than you, and approach it. You can also touch it. You find that you can pass easily through its walls. It's just like pink light. Now enter and look around. Someone is waiting to greet you. It's a figure that your spirit self has projected. You will probably feel waves of love, compassion, and caring. So, this is called embodying spirit technique, masters. So, you are just visualize after unifying your chakra, you're visualizing this pink or red color crystal in the heart chakra, and uh, you enter into that light, and you see someone waiting to greet you. So then you feel lots of love, you feel compassion. So you become the spirit itself. You are embodying the spirit. So, so what you do next depends on you. Some people want to bask in this glow for longer time. Some people will be very curious. They will be asking questions. Some people will not have any questions, but they will just ask for guidance. So some masters may just make friends with the spirit. So it's all depending upon you. And ask, you can ask that the energy stay with you in your heart chakra and guide you in all that you do. So you can also ask that you as spirit blend with the unified field to keep it aligned and to embody an ever greater proportion of ever higher frequency energy. Finally, when you feel complete, let the image fade. So when you feel complete, when you are happy and you got that good experience, then you let the image fade and return to your consciousness, to your surroundings. Affirm that I am spirit, I am a master in all that I do. So, hope you understood this procedure of embodying the spirit masters. Next, there is another technique by deity Ariel. So, Ariel's technique to align with spirit. So, what is this technique? It is a more specific technique from Ariel. So, it goes as follows. Spirit. Okay, so you can obtain uh, insight for everyday issues in your physical plane, right? So all of us are having a lot of situations, challenges in day-to-day life. You can ask insight for that. So this technique to align with the spirit is Ariel, deity Ariel's. So how it works is the basis for this technique is mental body always tend to live in the future, your emotional body always in the past, and your physical body in the present. I think all of us can reflect with this masters. So our mind will be always thinking about the future, but our emotions are always happening because of our past incidents, and our physical body alone is in the present. So you can pose a question. Uh, so you're planning to you're trying to align with the spirit, right? And you are also asking insight for everyday's problem. So you can pose a question such as, how do I feel about taking a job X, or how would marrying Y work out? So these are all day-to-day life situations. So you can ask this question to the spirit. So for this, the procedure is Ariel's procedure technique goes like this. So again, you have to unify your chakra and you have to invite spirit to radiate from your heart into the unified chakra. Then you imagine a door. So the door with the question written on it. So can I take this job? Or can I marry this person? Like that, the question is written on the door. And you imagine that door. Tell yourself that behind the door, you are actually living that situation. Like you are full, you are living, you're breathing, you're in that experiential situation. So behind the door, you have already taken the job or you have already married the person, and it's irrevocable, no, with no turning back. So it's now and it's real. How now you're actually imagining everything, and you're imagining so that it is so real. How do you feel within your body? So there can be two responses. If you are, response one is if you are relaxed, serene, happy, pleased at having made the right decision, then you go ahead with it. Or response two, what is that? If you are tensed, if you are anxious, if you are upset about the job or that marrying that person, then, or if you feel that you have screwed up again, that means you should not proceed with that uh, option. So your spirit self has now blended because you have unified the chakra and you have influxed the spirit's energy into your energy field. After that, only you're imagining, right? So, whatever response you get, whether relaxed, happy, or upset and anxious. So, depending upon that, you either go ahead with that option or you stop that option. So, your spirit self has blended with your lower field, and through resonance with the self that made that decision has matched the energy to give you a taste of that particular outcome. So that's why the body reacts as it does. So you can do this technique also, masters, to get answers for your day-to-day life challenges. So before you leave, so the procedure is not over. Before you leave, notice the door that has spirit's suggestion. So there will be if you're doing it meticulously, you will notice one door that has spirit suggestion written on it. The door may glow, so it can either how it will be like highlighted. It will glow or sparkle, and it feels like there is some good energy behind it. You may care to open and go through. If you are asking earlier about a mate, suppose you were about asking about marriage, you can see the person sitting there, that either him or her, possibly someone you have already met or a complete stranger. So that person might be sitting there in that imaginary world. If you were asking about a job or a house, you may see yourself in a familiar setting or somewhere else. So this may surprise you, but let it sit with you a while. So this Ariel's technique is so fascinating that it's all about imagination, and after unifying chakra, letting the influx of spirit's energy, you do this so that spirit guides you. It also shows you your spouse, your fiancé, or it also shows you what house you're going to buy or what job you're going to take. So this is Ariel's technique, masters. Now, the third technique is called a simultaneous time. So simultaneous time means we know that in the planet Earth we have three, like past tense, present, and the future. But this is only for ego self. But for spirit self, everything is possible. There are so many now points. Like time is simultaneous. So let me go take you through this. This next technique gives you a sense of the structure of time from spirit's perspective. So in what follows, Serapis says, capital NOW means it is present tense. To emphasize that now point is the moment in time which you are reading this book exists, rather than all the now points which are not ordinarily accessing to your ego self. Of course, all the now points are accessible to spirit. So what Serapis is telling is there are two selves, ego self and the spirit self. For the ego self like us, only present current now point is possible. For the spirit self, all now points are possible. What are those all now points? It is like current now point, past now point, and future now points. Everything is possible only for spirit self. But for masters like us, ego self like us, only one now point is possible, which is the present or current now point. Okay. So this now point is where you are. I mean, the current now point. That is where we are and where your power to deal with all planes lies. Previous now point means past tense. Previous now point is gone. And your ego self can't go back and change anything. Correct, na masters? Whatever happened is happened. And next now point, that is the future now point, hasn't happened yet. So ego self can't do anything about that yet. So we cannot do anything about our future. But same thing I'm insisting, spirit self can do anything anywhere. Like it can go to the past, it can go to the future, it can change anything. Ego self has access only to the present. So you could imagine time as a narrow bridge across a chasm. Everything spreads out on either side, but focuses to a narrow point in the present. Your consciousness is a bridge between the past and the future. Everything must funnel through this narrow channel called present. The future flows through present to become the past. So we know this already. As it passes, you can change it, you can redefine it, you can amplify it, or you can deny it into the past as your personal history. So there is a technique. This is a technique where you actually go to your past or to your future and change the situation. So for that, what you have to do, imagine a situation that you want to change. So you can take any situation in your life, masters, whatever has happened, you want to change that. So see it coming towards you as you stand on the center of the bridge. So the bridge is the present, It is connecting the past and the future. You are just standing in the present, and you see that the past situation which you want to change coming towards you, and requesting permission to cross over into your present. You have to see that it is requesting permission to cross into your present. So tell it that it can then you can tell that it can only pass if it changes. So you reconstruct it. It can be a person, it can be a conversation, it can be an event, and then let it pass. So you are reconstructing it. You are actually changing the energy of that situation in the present. So this is the technique, masters. This is the background. So this technique actually changes the blueprint of reality, making you a reality architect. Imagine, masters, if we are able to do this, a lot of things will change. So you become a reality architect. Spirit operates all along the timeline in every now point. So spirit can operate in current now, future now, or the uh, past now. So it can operate. Time is just another dimension, and you can move in time as easily as you move in space. But just as a particular space which you occupy acts as a focal point, the present point in which your ego self exists is also a focal point to your spirit self. This present point is the meeting ground for ego and spirit selves. Obviously, the spirit is approaching us only in the present. It is a point of unity where you can exercise your full personal power. So how do you influence a future now point from this now point from the present? So we have seen how we can change the past. So how do we change the past? You stand in the bridge, and which is the present, and you allow the past incident to pass, and you uh, tell that only if you can reconstruct it, it can pass. So then you reconstruct that event, or you reconstruct that conversation, or you reconstruct that person, whatever past thing you want to change, you reconstruct it. So that is about changing something in the past. Now we are trying to understand how to influence a future now point from the present. So through our energy field. So for this, you unify your chakras and the three lower field and invite spirit into the unified field. So always this is a basic principle, master. Any technique you do, you unify your chakra and the three lower field, and then you invite spirit energy influx into your unified field. You can get to other now points. So the future points. Suppose, for example, tomorrow you have an interview for a job you really want. Then you unify your chakras and invite spirit to radiate from the heart into the unified chakra. Then imagine a door. So again, this aerials technique similar to that. So you imagine a door as you did before. Behind the door, you have already taken the job. Check behind the door to make sure that this one really feels good at all levels and is in alignment with the spirit. So you can feel how you feel. Similar to Ariel's technique, you can feel the same way. It's no use scripting the interview ahead of time. That just locks you into a mental body pattern. Instead, sit down quietly and pull your energy field into the present point, into the present space. Become a tight focus of physical, emotional, mental, and spirit energy. Now, if you know what the job entails and what you would be doing, for example, if you are a manager, you know the job expectations. Then then you think as if you're a manager, you see yourself as a manager, you feel yourself as a manager, and you do it now, not in the future. You do it in the present. So make it as realistic as possible and conjure up the smells and sounds of the office or work site. So you make it so real that you see the paper sound of the paper in the fan, or you smell something in that office. So all that you can make it so realistic. Bring it all to the present point. Although the interview is tomorrow, you are sitting and you after unifying the chakras, you're doing this. And after a few minutes, bring your consciousness back. So, what happened? You created a resonance between the two now points in simultaneity. So, what are the two now points? Present and future. So, the same thing you did for the past also. You created a resonance between the past and the present. So, you try to change the past incident, whatever happened. So, yeah, now it is about present and future. So, tomorrow's happening, you are trying to change. So, you tapped into the energy of the future now point from the current now point. By doing so, you increase the intensity of your present point energy field by pulling some of the energy of the probability of getting the job into your present. You and the interviewer have at some future now point got to make a hiring decision. Many probability lines emanate from that decision point, and you selected the energy associated with one of them and folded it back to the present. So, what the book says is several things come out of this. By involving your spirit self in the exercise, you also involve the interviewer's spirit self. Are you understanding, Master? So, you are imagining all this as if it is happening now. Tomorrow's interview, you are imagining as if it is happening now, and you are involving your spirit self, the interviewer spirit self also, and those of the people with whom you are going to be working. So there will be co-workers. Their spirit self are also you are involving. Actual interviews are always preceded by psychic interviews, often while you sleep. Have you felt this, Masters? For example, tomorrow if you have an interview, the previous day night you will not get sleep. You will be like so anxious, and after a long struggle, when you sleep, all this happens without our knowledge. So your spirit self, interviewer spirit self, because this is all an agreement, right? And co-worker spirit self. So psychic interview happens. It is preceded by the real interview, and it happens while you sleep. So by previewing the job situation, you have become a conscious player and added your intent to the probability. So now you may have had an adverse reaction during the exercise. So sometimes when you do this technique, you might have coughing, you might have tight breathing, or you might have muscle tension. So what all this indicates that you may wish to review your intent. So it is like you don't want the job. You should not proceed for that reason. Some energy in that future field has disagreed with you. That energy is not matching. So that is why you are getting coughing or muscle tension, whatever. So it may be the energy of some potential co-worker. It is not okay with your energy field, or some toxins in the building air that is not going to help you out. So you better don't take that job. So just stay open and ask yourself what the symptoms indicate. So basically the summary of this technique. What is happening here? This technique is called simultaneous time, and we dispel the idea that what's happened has happened and can't be changed. So it's not like that. What has happened, you can't change. That's what we generally think. But when you do this technique called a simultaneous time technique, you can definitely change what has already happened, and that the future hasn't happened yet, so can't be changed yet. That idea also you can dispel. So generally, what we think future cannot be, future hasn't happened yet, so you can't be changed yet. So that idea also you can dispel. Means you can change the future also. So you can change it even if you don't know what you are doing by remaining firmly anchored in the present and using resonance. Resonance to work on either side of the now point. Either side of the now point means past now point and future now. So your unified field works in a way, in ways you don't consciously know. So our energy field is capable of doing anything, masters. In summary, there are many techniques that the blend of ego and spirit can use to align and merge. So it's like the proportion can vary, and you can take the help of spirit and do lot of things, play and play at inventing new ones and share them with others. So therapy says you can create a new technique also. Just take the help of spirit, blend it with different proportions, you align, you merge, and you create your own reality. That's what therapist says. So this is a technique that we are seeing today. And tomorrow we are going to have another technique called as unity. So it is the next chapter. We begin to explore unity further. So unity with everything. You were never other than everything. So we are all, it is called that oneness consciousness. One thing you will hear more and more frequently is that spirit is a unity. Spirit is a continuum of energy and admittedly organized in indescribable ways, but a unity. So it is nevertheless, spirit is unity and function only looks separate, but spirit is unity. Yes, Master. So with this, I'm closing today's topic. Any questions or any experiences, Masters? Little tricky. The simultaneous time technique is little
Yes,
tricky,
ma'am. It's very tricky actually.
very tricky. Yeah.
If you can share the notes, we will,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
give once again.
Yeah. I have not changed even a single sentence. I have just whatever is in the book, I have just because if we try to comprehend and change the sentence, we may misinterpret the book. So I
That's right,
didn't
ma'am.
change. Yeah, I did not change even a single sentence or a word. So I will share this presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So we'll catch up with you tomorrow, ma'am, same time.
Tomorrow, Friday. Yes, sir. Definitely. So can we wind up tomorrow or should we proceed with Saturday, sir? Saturday
I think if you can do it, I prefer that we extend.
till Saturday.
Uh, I mean, as
Oh,
much time you can spend.
okay. Means like Monday also. Sunday we don't have, right? So
No,
do
we
we
can
have?
do it on Sunday also. It is up to you, ma'am. It is
Okay, okay,
you
okay.
are the
Mm,
deciding factor.
th- okay. So yes, sir. I'll let you know like how to
Yeah, please, ma'am.
because
Please let me know. Accordingly, I
sure
will align, ma'am.
plan. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Good night. Good
Good
night,
night.
Kamaljit, ma'am.
Has not unmuted.